Hey everyone, welcome to TeamMSRV, where we show you life is not over just because you have MS, for you or your caretaker.
And that's why we decided to sell everything and enjoy life to the fullest.
So follow us on our adventures for tips and tricks on how to cope with this disease on a daily basis.
And maybe we could help each other.
Hey everyone, so today's episode is about migraine. I deal with a lot of migraines.
You sure do.
It's very important to me.
So yeah, let's talk about, now I myself have never actually, I may have had a migraine once, I think. So
you would know.
That's why I don't believe I really actually ever had one before. So I can't speak from experience. I can only speak from observation of you because I know you've always had them. So real quickly, we're going to talk about, I say real quickly, but it's probably going to be a little longer than quick. So what are migraines, right? Let's go through the list here. So what are migraines? It's a pounding headache. It's sensitivity to light. It's maybe pulsating on both sides of your head. Maybe it's on one side only. Maybe it's on the back. That it could be that way, right? Noise sensitivity, whether it's the TV or it's the radio or just a dog barking, can be very, very irritating. And sometimes nausea or vomiting.
Yes.
Right? So
let me talk to you about my situation. So it starts with, I need to be in a dark room and a pounding, and sometimes it's only on one side. Sometimes it's the right side and it pounds and pounds. And then nausea, and sometimes I have vomiting too.
That's right, or at least dry heaves. When
it's like the really bad, like leave me alone, I gotta put a nice cold cloth on my forehead, and nausea will come, or even vomiting.
And one time, which scared the heck out of me, I've never even seen this happen, but a migraine actually had her hospitalized for the night.
Oh yeah, it made my left side like all numb, and I couldn't even move it. That's right.
Yeah, and
it felt
scary.
like
I want to do an episode about that one.
Yes, and it felt like I was having a stroke, because when I was talking, everything was not coming right. I could hear it, what I was talking, like I wanted to say it, but when I was saying it, it was like, whoa, and no one could understand me.
No,
it was scary.
And I think that was an extreme situation. That was probably one of the worst case scenario migraines.
Yeah.
But yeah, that scared the heck out of me because I never experienced the light ones. And then to see that, I thought something else was going on, obviously, and I freaked out. Yeah. So yeah, I would like to do an episode about emergencies and how to deal with that type of stuff.
Especially when it was Corona.
That's right. Okay, let's keep going. So, moving down the list, what are some triggers for migraines? Now, this is, again, probably unique to each person. Some people this might not have any effect on. These are, and we're probably only touching the tip of the iceberg here. Migraines are studied by scientists and doctors all over the world all the time. There's so much information out there about it.
Yes.
So this is really about her experience and us sharing in the most layman terms possible what a migraine is and maybe what can help you alleviate some of the symptoms for yourself to help you get through your day, or just make it a little better anyway, right? So let's talk about these triggers. It could be an illness, right? It could be something that you've already dealt with before that's a repeating process for you. That could be something. It could be your medications. It could be changes in your sleep. It can be certain drinks, especially caffeine, right? They say, you cut way back on caffeine.
I did, but sometimes when you have migraine, it's also good for having caffeine.
That's right.
Helps the symptoms.
That's right. Kind of gives you a jolt of energy.
Yeah.
Physical labor for some people. Bad sleep patterns, like, just regular, maybe like me, I have terrible sleep patterns. I'm broken sleep all night long.
And then when I have a broken sleep or not sleeping, normally I wake up with pain in my head.
Yeah, and it's really a hard day for you.
Yeah.
When you're dealing with that.
Yes.
Stressful situations. Also avoid nitrates.
Yes.
Remember, we were just talking about that.
We were talking about it. So we're cutting out the cold cuts, the pepperoni. Yeah. And then
bacon, cured meats basically that are designed to store long term. I think that, and someone I'm sure will correct me if I'm wrong on this, and please do below, but I believe that the fresh sausages that you buy in the store that are raw that are not designed to store long term, those are okay for people.
Yes, I think so.
I think it's like that prefab stuff that's pre-cooked or it's made
it's
to
frozen.
be yeah, and it's airtight packaging. You know what we're talking. Kielbasa is another one.
Yes.
Polish sausage and stuff like that. These are all things that we loved.
And yes, and it's like I said, it's all like the frozen stuff too.
Yes. So with that, the nitrates in those food, which helps preserve it long term, in some research, has been known to trigger migraines, to help them.
Or even headaches.
Yeah, even headaches, right? Which are not at migraine level. Which I do have experience with headaches. Just not extreme.
Yes.
It also says avoid too much caffeine, and they also say to avoid MSG. What do you have for a trigger?
The trigger, I mean, the sleep pattern for sure. And we're trying something new about the nitrates. We're trying to cut this off because I'm still dealing with migraines and headaches often. And the stress, the life stress is a big trigger for me too.
Yes.
And then I also have like the neck pain, and that will trigger. It moves.
If you have a sore neck or if you did something lifting that hurt you, then you get the shooting pain up your neck, and it triggers. It's like a chain reaction.
Yeah.
So those are all very real situations we're explaining to you. This is what happens in our life, you know, well, her life mainly, and me.
And he has to deal with it.
Or I'm the trigger myself.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about warnings, maybe, right? So we got some information from online. There's various high quality sources of information out there. I don't want to name specific names, but I will link a few in the bottom that where we grab some information from to talk about, because we wanted to speak from truth. We didn't want to just make things up as we're going.
Right.
We want, again, always quality information. We have our notes with us. We try to be helpful.
Yeah.
That's really what we want to be. So
pre-migraine warnings. I mean, there's the craving, the fatigue.
Well, craving for like foods.
Yeah, like sometimes women will crave for sweet food, and that's because of the monthly stuff. But I think it also, like, you could crave something like chips or junk food, I think, and that's a trigger of like migraine is starting or something.
Yeah, not a trigger. It's like a warning.
A warning.
It's like a heads
yes,
up.
A warning. Sorry. And then there's depress. You feel depressed that
feel
day.
down.
You don't want to do anything. Like,
kind of angry sometimes, and you don't know why.
Yeah.
You're just like, I don't know. I woke up in a bad
bad
mood today.
mood. Yes.
And you're not like mean to me or anybody else. It's just
inside. I just don't feel right. And then I have those big yawning, like I'll yawn so loud.
Like a festival. She'll just yawn and yawn, and then it makes me yawn, and it's 9 a.m. and I'm yawning. I just woke up 2 hours ago.
So that, and then, oh look, the stiff neck. That's a pretty...
Irritability.
Yes.
And then hyperactivity. I mean, like, you feel like you need to, like, you get like this urge to, like, I gotta clean something.
I gotta do something, yeah.
It's almost like a nervous reaction you have, like your body knows something's coming, and you do that.
And I just crash after.
And then you crash when you're done doing the work, yes.
What I mean by crash, I get super tired, and
the fatigue's at, like, maximum where she needs a nap.
Yeah. So yes, that's the pre-migraine warnings.
And that's good information. And those ones are specific to you.
Yes.
But it might be good to write down what happens to you days before your migraines, so you can kind of track that, because we'll talk about it. If you've seen a video about our symptom tracker, you know that the migraine tracker is just as important.
Yes, it is.
Especially because in your neurology office in particular, the specialist on migraines is a different person than your actual MS specialist.
Yes.
Which is really nice, because she's like way geared towards migraines, and she knows all the medications and all the therapies out there.
Yes.
Right? So it gives someone that, someone specializes in something. That's way better than having a general.
Yes, I feel that you're right about that.
Yeah, they just know so much more about that subject. So, okay, let's keep this rolling.
Hi.
Who's affected by migraines, right? It could be, first of all,
everyone.
Anyone.
Yeah.
It could be.
Yes.
But in our research, we found that 18% of men and up to 43% of women get migraines in their lifetime at some point or another. Now, they say that migraines can be or are linked to hormones.
And that's why the woman gets
A higher percentage, more than double.
because we have,
So a big question is, do migraines affect my MS symptoms?
I would say yes, it does.
And I would agree. I mean, I think that any kind of external problem you may have or ill feeling always magnifies the effects of your MS symptoms, right? If you're nauseous from something you ate, and I bet you have a headache as well, and you're probably feeling a little drowsy because your symptoms kind of, again, if you've seen the baseline symptom episode, you'll understand that the stress can be a million different things, and as that climbs, your symptoms will show more and more. And if just standing in the sun can raise that bar, imagine feeling ill on the inside does.
That's true.
Right? It raises the bar. So I definitely believe that. And I say that your symptoms escalate faster. On days like that, you need to nap earlier.
Yes, that's right. Yep.
So that's...
And then, like, you wake up in the morning and you're like super fatigued already. You're like, okay, something is gonna happen. Something is going on. So yes, you are right. It escalates
quicker.
Yes.
And then you'll nap normally like 10:30 as opposed to 11:30, and then and you might nap longer time too.
Yes.
So yeah, that's very real. Again, why is it important to keep a diary or track your migraines?
Well, it's very important. So because if you go see your doctor, you have the information, and they could see like how many migraines you're having a month, or how long does it last,
or how severe they might be.
Yes, so you have it, and if it's been 3 months, you have it on your little book.
And you don't forget, because with MS, as we know,
you forget.
I forget, and I don't have MS. So, writing it down. I mean, even with my hours, for example, from work, right? If I don't come home every day and put it into my little spreadsheet, and I try to remember 3 days from now, I sometimes underbill because I'm worried that I didn't work the amount of hours I'm thinking, which I think kind of messes me up because I'm trying to remember like I got memory of a youngster. So instead, I come home and I write it right into my spreadsheet as quick as I can if I remember.
Yeah, daily.
Yeah, if I miss one day, I can make it. 2 or 3 days, I start forgetting what I did.
And it's the same thing with MS.
That's right.
You have to write it. When you have a migraine, write it on your book, because I realize sometimes that, I need to put it on my book, and I forget. And then by forgetting, you just don't remember to put it. I was like,
So do it as soon as you think of it.
Yes, you have to. You really have to.
Yeah,
yes.
and probably when it's over is the next time you'll pick up the book to say how long it lasted and how bad it really was.
Yep.
Right? And again, I want to emphasize on the fact that you don't want to say it's worse than it really is. You really want to be as honest as you can in these books, because when your doctor looks at it, they're going to prescribe based on what they see. And if it's very severe, they might put you on this high-powered medication that you really don't need, so you don't need all these extra side effects from that medication, when if you had like a level 4 migraine all month, or 10 days out of a month, they might prescribe you this lower strength medication that has 1 side effect versus 5. Right? So I think that's valuable in logging accurate data.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Okay, so how long does a migraine last? It depends. Sometimes it could be a couple hours. Sometimes it could be days. And
yeah, for you, I've seen a couple days.
Yeah.
I've seen 2 days where it's had you. Basically, the first day was really bad, and the second day was like a recovery type day. But you were still like fighting from the migraine type fog and all that stuff.
Yes. Yep.
So duration, there is no set duration.
It varies.
Yeah, with everybody.
Yes.
And each incident with each person.
That's
true. Today it might be a day, tomorrow might be all afternoon.
True.
Or tomorrow might be a perfect day and you don't feel anything.
Yes.
That's how it works.
Yes.
So, moving on.
Okay.
Does a migraine cause damage, especially to your MS?
I say no.
And
because
you were
it's
right.
Yeah, because it's different. It's not the same.
Right. Now, MS
Is
and migraines kind of live in the same realm, though, of causing trouble in your brain.
Yes.
So now, because your symptoms will flare, I hate using that word and everyone knows I do. So when your symptoms show, because you have this migraine, like I said earlier, it's a magnifying effect and it escalates faster. So you're feeling like, oh, I'm having a flare up, because that's what you think is happening. You think more damage is happening. But in reality, it's not that. And if you had an MRI that day, they would not see anything lighting up.
Yes. And I don't even know if they know what a migraine, like where it comes from. I think they're still researching.
That's why there's so much research worldwide, because
they don't understand how it shows up.
Kind of like MS, right? Same situation, studied all over the world, but no real solid answers.
Mm-hmm.
We're giving you answers for symptoms, though, and hopefully they help you feel better. That's all we care about.
Yes.
Okay. So now this is going to get a little heavy, and we can only talk from experience.
Yes.
So that's what we're going to do. But the medication for migraines, there's doctors that specialize in only medications for migraines. These people went to school for 12 years.
There's a lot of medication
I'm
for
just
migraine.
a dude. And this is my wife. And I know what she took, right? So, no, I want to be clear about that, right? Because we're about to talk about medications, which could be very scientific or very meaningful for some people, and we might not understand what we're talking about.
So I'm going to talk about what I'm taking, about how I started and how it worked. So it's been many years, and this is Maxol I've been taking. When I start having a migraine, I take that. And I'm still taking that Maxol when my migraine starts. But I'm also taking, it's an injection, and it's called Emgality, and if I'm saying it right, Emgality, and it's an injection that I use every 28 days. Okay, so they did try to give me by mouth, and it was Topomax, and some symptoms I was getting, like symptoms for my MS was flaring up. What I mean flare up, it was just my tingling and everything, so I had to stop that. And I also used an injection, Imovig, and also that Imovig was an injection every 28 days, and that didn't work, so that's why I'm on the Emgality, and that's working good. And you still get migraines that you see, and when that starts, I use the Maxol to try to.
So it's kind of like a double
dose.
A double attack.
Yes.
Like two different angles of attack,
mm-hmm.
is how I would say that.
Yes. Yeah.
And that seems to help. And it's like, we call it like your emergency medicine, but we know that you just take it right when you start feeling the migraine, you take that.
And then 2 hours later, if you still have the symptoms, you take another one.
And you still feel symptoms from afterwards. You still get your migraine.
And sometimes it clears it out too.
So it is.
I mean,
that's why. So it's kind of effective. But I want to show them the book real quick.
Yes.
That, she still does. This is April of this year. And she still does have her migraines. Mm-hmm. I mean, there was a lot of them. There was a lot of entries on that month. But, some of those are lightweight. Some of them is just a headache and nausea. But some of them migraine all day with nausea.
Yeah.
Right?
And
so
with
it's like
the 2 doses of Maxol, the emergency medication I was telling you about, and it didn't work.
So, yeah, I would like to say that I think that the medications are not a silver bullet.
No.
Right? It doesn't mean you take this and all your problems go away.
It helps.
It lessens the impact of that migraine on you, I feel like, which is helpful, right? Because if you just let it run wild, a 2-day episode might be a 4-day episode, because MS, it's slow healing process. Mm-hmm. It's slow recovery anyway. So you add a migraine into that, which needs its own healing process, and it slows everything down. So I think the medications do help, but you need to find the right combinations. Yes. Working with your doctor, with your neurologist or your specialist for mm-hmm. that. But I do want to talk about, there's other types of medications, and I just want to mention them because people are like, hey, I never even took those. I take this. I just want to mention it. And I'm sure there's a ton more.
Yes.
But I'm going to have to read from the page here. So, common medications are triptans that target serotonin. Mm. That's Maxol. Zomig is
one of them.
I'm not sure if that's a brand or an actual chemical.
And I never tried that.
Imitrex, that's another one.
I heard about that one often.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then there's There's preventative therapy, which is the Topamax, and then they also have Toprol, it looks like. And then there's other types of therapies.
Many more.
And we're just not specialized enough. I mean, maybe we'll do another episode on migraines where we talk more specific and targeted, but I want to read more, learn more, and understand better before I try to pass on information that might be wrong.
Yes.
Right? So but this episode is really for the symptoms from the migraines, and then maybe things you can do to dodge it, right? Maybe things that'll save your day and help you get through a day of work or a day of play. Okay, so let's talk about some home remedies, because I think that's important. Everybody wants to try something at home first. Yes. I always do. Matter of fact, if I can never see a doctor, that would be great. But then we know what happened to me. My stomach got a mess. I gained weight. I did this. I had all these little issues because I thought I was smart. After 40.
Trying to be a doctor at 40.
I got Google. Who needs a doctor? I could. You know what? That does not work.
No, I don't.
Because you find way too many opinions versus facts, and then you start trying things, and next thing you know, you're drinking mint flavored something that does not work, and you want to throw up. So. Be careful of what you find online, and always trust what your doctor tells you is what I'm trying to get across. So, remedies. Because of MS, it might be making your migraine worse. Or because of the migraine, your MS symptoms might be getting worse, as we said. So one of the first things you should try, cool off.
Cool off. A nice cold cloth on
Maybe
your
a cool
forehead.
shower, or just a room temperature shower, that's not hot. Cooling shirts, cooling clothes.
Yes.
What else? Sit in front of a fan, air conditioner.
And then also lavender. Like lavender on your wrist, maybe?
Like the scent?
The scent, yes. That helps.
That's calming. Okay. Yeah, to inhale it. And menthol and peppermint also. And it says, you can rub that on your temples and on your forehead.
I heard about that.
And that probably has some kind of, it goes through the pores, but it also has the aroma too that... Just be careful. Yeah, be careful with that though around your eyes.
Yes.
Because that's probably a burning. So make sure you're not leaving it dripping. Rub it in so it's gone.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
That's probably fair to say.
Then ginger.
We're fans of ginger. We love ginger.
Yes, we like ginger. And then yoga. Yoga sometimes, the stretching might help.
Yeah, especially if you're doing upper body yoga that day, where you're stretching out your neck and your upper back and your chest area. I mean, some stuff that relieves the tension in your neck, which obviously is attached to your head.
Sometimes if you're able to go see a masseuse, get a nice massage, a scalp massage, your neck. But I mean, when you get migraines, you don't want to see people or talk to people.
Yeah.
But
I mean, but you could also, if you have a loved one to help you, you could, sometimes I help you, like you help me when I'm having trouble.
Yeah, he massages my neck.
And there's some cool tools we have, because I'm a sucker for massage tools. So I buy whatever I can find online, and we'll have an episode about that.
Yeah.
Because I think that's pretty interesting, the whole tool world, that there's so many things for your whole body. You can find a tool to work on an area you never thought you could work on.
We'll show you what we have.
That'll be a fun episode. So, magnesium.
Oh, yeah.
If you're not already on a prescription or, over-the-counter magnesium, make sure you're getting your daily value of that. That helps. That also helps me with my restless legs.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, which I think is some kind of neurological thing going on and no one understands.
Right.
Those are the things that we all deal with, right?
Yes.
We got it. We can keep... Okay, so for you, this one's definitely a true one. Laying in a dark room.
Yes.
With it quiet. You like a cool washcloth on your forehead.
And then try to take a nap.
No TV.
No TV, nothing. No noise, nothing. Just nice dark room, cold cloth, and try to sleep.
Yeah, that's one for you. You have the cool cloth, sleep. And try not to problem solve that day.
But yeah, don't do no puzzles or...
Well, that, or try to make financial decisions, or deciding if your child's going to be on the soccer team or not. That's a bad day to think about that stuff.
Yeah, your brain will just go...
Yeah, or your symptoms are going to increase quickly. Save those for days you're feeling good or early in the morning. I'm not I'm not saying you can't, because obviously there's days that you're going to have to make a decision
Right.
when you have a migraine. But if you can avoid it, do that. Don't put the stress on yourself.
Right, and try to get your migraine resolved or lower before you, if you really need to do it, you know, try
Yeah.
to get your migraine.
Tell them, give me an hour. Let me really try to relax, and then I'll
Yes.
come back to it and ask. Or maybe ask me your question, but I'm not going to answer you right away.
Right.
Give me a few hours to relax and think about it. I think that's really a good solution.
Mhm.
So you give them the attention they deserve, to, you know, and you're respecting their question that they have to ask you, especially if it's valid. And then you actually have time to think about it with all your different brains, you know, because when you're relaxing, you know, you have your angry head or your happy person.
Yes.
Like, for me at least, it's like that movie Inside Out. I have like all these people behind the panel and they're pulling levers, and
That's a good show. That's a good movie. You guys should watch it with your kids.
yeah.
And then if
Yeah,
you don't
right.
have
We don't
kids,
have kids. We
you
watch it
still watch
anyway.
it.
I like that movie. It's really a good analogy of what goes on inside of people. You know, it's like, it's not, everyone has like this inner battle. You know, that's the yin yang, I think. It's
Yeah.
represents evil and good. Keep moving on here.
Okay.
So, home remedies, try those things out. Those were the most common things we found across the web that were on all the sites, including reputable places. So I feel that the yoga one is really good, especially if you're just stretching your neck and your upper body. I really feel like that one's good. I also feel like you laying in a dark room with a cool cloth, maybe a fan.
Yes.
That's very helpful. So when do you need to see a doctor though? I mean, because there comes a point where you're laying there and you're like, it's just another migraine. But is it?
Right. I mean, if it keeps going and that you just can't concentrate, maybe you need to talk to a doctor to see maybe they could do something for you.
Right. I mean, because it's often overlooked or it's undiagnosed in people unless they say something. If they don't say it out loud, that I think I might be having a migraine. Oh, you might be having a migraine. Well, that triggers a whole new set of questions for you.
Yes.
But if you never mention that, they can't look at you and go, wow, you look like you've been having migraines all month. No one can do that.
No.
Because it's inside. So make sure you speak about it, because it's unnoticed.
Yes.
A doctor will not know unless you speak about it.
Yeah, because I was getting a lot of headaches and stuff. That I never talked to my doctor about it, and it just kept progressing. And then until I'm like, okay, something is happening. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you, if you're getting more than 2 a month,
oh yeah.
I would, especially if your doctor doesn't know about it yet,
Yes.
and you had more than 2 in 1 month, I would say that that's valid. I would say speak up about that.
Mhm.
If it's the first time having one,
And if it's only one, okay, yeah.
and it's like a level 4, you know, sure, that's really, you might be able to brush that off. But if you
But-
had like a level 9,
Yeah, and you have it a couple of them a month, just
Speak up.
mention it. Yeah, mention it to your doctor.
yeah, because they might be able to add to your, or adjust your medication to make it,
Because
where-
sometimes it might be the medication you're taking now.
that's right.
You know?
And they might know that.
yes.
So that's why you need to speak up, because they do. That's what they get the big bucks for.
Yes.
They know all that good stuff. Okay, now say your doctor, or you are tracking with your tracker, and you notice I used to get 4 or 5 a month, and I am working with my doctor, right? And then all of a sudden you're getting 8 or 9, right? And that's in a month instead of the 3 or 4.
Yes, and that's what happened to me, where we're doing a shot, and I was still like, hey, I'm still getting about 10 to 12 migraines a month. And she's like, wait, so this medication is not working for you,
That's
and that's
right.
why she changed. So yes, speak up. If you're still having migraines and that
Or-
medication is not working, talk to them. And
Or, yeah, I was gonna say, like you're saying, or if it stops working as good.
yeah.
If it changes. So that's what we're saying is, if you notice a change in your pattern
Mm-hmm.
monthly, talk to your doctor.
Talk to your doctor. Yes. So maybe if your migraine is trigger your other symptoms, and then talk to your doctor, or even if the pain level of your migraine is like a 7 and it stays at a 7 or it keeps going up, talk to your doctor about that.
Or
Because
go to your doctor.
yeah, go to your doctor, because you can't concentrate. I mean, I deal with migraines, I know. So talk to your doctor. And also, if maybe you hit your head somewhere and you're having headaches.
Right. Because it may be a concussion, or it may be something now that you have migraines.
Yeah.
And that's something now you have to like learn about and prepare for your, you know, your future. You need to know how to deal with that. So I'm going to read the list again, just so that we all know. This is not time to wait for your next appointment unless it's tomorrow. But speak up, because it's often overlooked or undiagnosed. So you have to say it when you're there. If you're getting more than 2 a month, make sure you call the doctor, right? Because if this is brand new to you, there might be something happening. So call the doctor or go to make an appointment. A pattern change in your migraines from 4 a month to 12 a month. That's a major pattern change. It's time to see the doctor right now, because something's happening right now, right? Don't wait for the 3-month appointment for that. That's where I'm going with all this. If you have an injury to your head and now you have a migraine on a regular basis, you got to call the doctor, because it might be a concussion. It might not be a migraine at all.
It might be something else.
Right, and make sure you need to go to the doctor. You don't want to wait for your next appointment, because in our experience, anytime something happens, it's right after you see the doctor, and then like you don't have to see the doctor again for another 3 months.
Right.
So it's a big deal. If the migraines are triggering your MS symptoms and you never had that before, and now all of a sudden your symptoms are flaring up every time you get a migraine, call the doctor. Talk to them. If your pain is more than a 7 for like your first time, or even if you're ever over a 7, I would say that's time to call a doctor. Especially if you don't have medication already. If you don't have a treatment plan for your migraines, then I would say it's time to get a treatment plan at that point. A 7 is severe.
Yes. So, yes, if it's a 7, call the doctor. Even if you don't have an appointment, just call them so you have it on file. Like, so they could write it on file saying, okay, you're having a 7. They
or
might
any of these
yes.
things. Yes.
Just call them if you don't have an appointment, so they could put it on your file.
That's a good point, because if you had to call them 3 or 4 times before your next visit, your doctor's going to see that before you even get there, and they're going to know something's going on, and then you're going to have your tracker, because you're a responsible person
And you remember
that cares about your health and well-being and how you feel. You're going to bring them your migraine tracker, and they're going to be impressed and know how to help you.
Yes.
I think that's the most important part. They know how to help you because they know exactly what's going on.
Yes.
Like we said in the beginning, these things are unknown. They're studied by many scientists and many doctors across the entire world, because it's something that happens everywhere. There's really no age that it happens specifically, but it's most commonly diagnosed between 35 and 45. Yes. We're going to do a different episode in the future after we get more educated about medications and treatment plans that they have for migraines. We can only speak from experience up to this point.
Yes.
And that's what we're doing anyway, right?
We're just sharing what is happening to us.
And it probably is going to help somebody.
Yes.
It's going to help you.
It's going to help you.
And you.
All right, guys. I think we're all over.
I think it's done.
Okay.
Bye.
Thanks everyone for watching. Use our playlist to watch our video in order.
And the best way to support us is to like this video and subscribe to our channel and get notifications. Don't forget, 25% of any money ever earned on this channel will be donated to an MS cause of your choosing.
As a team, we got this.